Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
And let's talk about what lessons about.
Let's hang out.
And let's listen to 2 lesbians shout.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
Before we get started with our This Week in the Lesdom, we would love if you would check out the new trailer for my new podcast, SweetBitter, coming out on October 15th.
We get this glimpse back in time into what were women thinking about, what was important to her women.
Introducing SweetBitter, a podcast where we investigate the truth and controversy surrounding Sappho, her life, the Isle of Lesbos, and her relevance today. Each episode will deep dive into a part of the mystery of Sappho with insights from academics, translators, performers, and poets.
Scholars and writers and religious authorities have been intentionally erasing the lesbian love in Sappho's poems for millennia now, but her work has survived all of that.
It's pretty shocking to me that people are still asking, are these really lesbian poems? About the woman who the term lesbian was named after.
Was Sappho married? Did she have a child? Did she really have relationships with women? All of this is up for debate. To find out the answers to all of this and more, listen to SweetBitter, launching on October 15th, wherever you get your podcasts.
This week in the Lesdom.
This Week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. And this week we have some very exciting news about our musical.
Ellie's about to explode.
I've been waiting to tell everyone for years. We're announcing one of our cast members, Shalina Kennedy, who is Broadway royalty, played Carole King in Beautiful on Broadway, is an incredible singer, also a member of the LGBTQ community, which is very exciting for us as well. And she will be playing my ex-girlfriend, of course, Rachel.
We are beside ourselves. We just cannot express how excited we are to have some of the announcements coming out about the people that are going to be making this musical with us, because they are incredible.
And this is just the start of our announcements, so you get ready. Also, as a reminder, we are still running our crowdfunding campaign at bit.ly/theflamethemusical. So if you want to help us pay Shalina Kennedy, we would very much appreciate your support.
If that doesn't convince you, what will?
No, nothing.
Future casting announcements. Just wait.
Just wait.
What else do we have going on, Ellie? We still have a trivia night coming up. So on October 22nd, if you have not caught up and finished your rewatch yet, you still have a little bit of time before Orphan Black Trivia. It will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So get to studying, y'all.
So excited. In more dramatic and sad news,
I'm not ready for this 180 we are doing emotionally right now.
I'm so sorry, but we have to talk about it. Teenage Bounty Hunters has been canceled after 1 season. It is literally not okay.
Not okay.
Where's Netflix headquarters?
I do not accept this decision. I refuse. Je refuse. I refuse.
I will personally go there, and whoever is responsible for this decision, you're going to be tied to a chair until you change it. Sorry. I could get arrested for this. Is that a death threat online? I don't know. But I'm just
I think tying them to a chair is not.
It's not a death threat, right? It's just
tying you to a chair threat.
Yeah,
I think that's allowed.
Okay, so, but they deserve it. You cannot cancel Teenage Bounty Hunters. If there's any chance, if there's any chance for the show to be renewed, I pray to God that it will be. Either way, we love the cast. Our hearts go out to them not being able to be on our screens again. And also to all of you out there who love the show just as much as we do, we're in mourning with you.
Unacceptable.
Okay,
should we talk about some better news?
Yeah.
Fine. Yesterday was coming out day, so that's always fun. We love coming out day. If anybody used yesterday as like their actual coming out day, hey, welcome.
Congratulations.
We love you. Congrats.
If they came out yesterday and then just chose, they were like, you know what? I just came out. Let me find all the queer media I can. Then they listen to this episode. I'm so happy you're here.
Hey, or we have listeners who like have not come out to everyone yet. So maybe, we just want to say we're proud of all of you. That's all.
We're so proud.
Other things that we're proud of. So some of you might notice or remember that on this day, 3 years ago, a much younger and, tiny babyer version of Ellie and Lee launched a little podcast
called Let's
Hang Out.
We said let's hang out again soon for the first time.
We did.
And then we hung out soon for 3 years.
And we will keep hanging out soon for many, many more. So we just want to say thank you to everybody that has been listening for the past 3 years or the past 3 days. This has been crazy. This has been crazy. This has been bonkers.
Yes, absolutely life-altering.
We love it.
To be a
we
part
love all
of
of
your
you.
Lives, so.
We could never have dreamed of being here when we were there. It's just, look at everything you've made possible. We're gonna cry.
We are crying.
We might be crying. So thank you. It's been amazing. We have just been so happy to be doing this with all of you. So 3 more, many more, 30 more, 33 more, 300 more. How long do we want to live?
However old we are.
That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome to our 52nd installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, blam, a kraken from the sea.
I wasn't sure which. I felt like maybe you were going to sing this one, no?
Oh, I should have, but I don't know why. It's just that line, I must have been I think that was my most quoted line from this movie when this came out, so I had to.
Wasn't that you?
It felt nostalgic.
Yes. And we are joined by 2 very special guests today, Lisa Charlotte and Elise Knorr, the team, including me, behind SweetBitter, a podcast about the life and controversy of Sappho, the original lesbian. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Hey.
Thanks for having.
It's like all of my worlds, all of my gay worlds.
I know. This is an Ellie podcast Venn diagram happening right now.
I'm so excited.
Can we talk about like the names, like Ellie, Lee, Elise, Lisa? Like there's a theme here.
We feel like we should. It's a little much, right?
We were talking about it with Elise before because Elise is a poet, and she was saying it's like, what is it, the happiest vowel?
So, I mean, like my subspecialty within poetry is portmanteaus. And so, I think that our 4-way celebrity couple name would be Ellie Elisa Lee. That's the one.
We're doing ship names at the end. Come on.
Yeah.
But this is important.
I'm shipping us. I'm shipping us under
like Elisa and like get them all in there.
It's true. Yeah, but you need more syllables for the Tumblr hashtag of this ship, situation.
That's true.
You're so right. But I don't know, like I gravitate towards the E's, I guess.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. Girl band.
Actually,
Sounds
we could
amazing.
do that.
We could.
That
We
is
totally
actually
could.
very possible.
Tell me that we would not be successful as a girl band if someone was like, "Oh my god, who is your favorite? Is it Lisa, Lee, Elise, or Ellie?" Like, it sounds like it's meant to be.
Yeah. And what's happening right now is that like all my dreams are already coming true being on this podcast. And then you go and say something like that, Lee. And I'm like, get out of here. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to understand.
Let's do it. I'm for it.
I'm in. Let's talk a little bit before we get started. Lisa, let's talk about SweetBitter. Why did you decide to start this podcast?
Well, actually, I heard Elise talking on Buffering about Sappho, and then I, like a creeper, just like stalked her.
Wait, how did I never realize that was you?
On Buffering?
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that
very, very cool.
They asked me to be on Buffering because Kristen's very gracious and reached out and is so generous in that way. But I also, as a lesbian poet myself, I consider myself like one of Sappho's like great granddaughters. And I've like opened like books of mine have had like Sappho as the epigraph and like the guiding wisdom. So.
For anyone who's not familiar, can you just give us a real quick intro of like, who is Sappho? Who are we talking about? Just in case.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the OG lesbian, like where the word lesbian comes from. So she's an ancient Greek poet, one of the first poets ever, and she's writing on the island of Lesbos in archaic Greek times, 2,000 years ago. And it turns out she's writing these super gay poems about loving ladies and...
I mean, who isn't?
Yeah, I mean, so she's great. We've been having a good time putting the podcast together.
Yeah, because I reached out to Elise like mid last year, and then Ellie jumped on board, and then we just all simultaneously dropped it, and then COVID happened. So we were like,
nice,
let's do this.
Yeah,
let's do a podcast. That's what everybody's doing in quarantine, right?
Why not? I hear it's what the cool kids do.
So how does Sappho relate to the Should Have Been Gay we're going to be doing? And for those of you who don't know, we're doing a Should Have Been Gay on Juno today. Very relatable to Sappho.
The hit 2007 classic Juno.
Did we decide that there actually isn't really a connection, but we just...
Of course there is.
Well, we can
Ellen
stretch
Page.
it. Well,
Yes.
Juno was named after the wife. She says, Elise said this earlier today, and I didn't even realize this. She says Juno was the wife of Zeus, and that's sort of technically correct, but Juno and Jupiter are the Roman versions of the gods, and Hera and Zeus are the Greek. So actually Juno was married to Zeus by a different name, Jupiter. So that's how we're gonna bring it all together.
Does that not feel like just the exact right amount of research for someone in 2007 to have done for this movie?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading that the screenwriter like wrote the whole thing in like a Starbucks in a Target, and so so she's just kind of doing her best, like she wrote the thing in like 2 weeks,
Not surprising.
That feels right.
Yeah.
But also,
It does feel right.
it's like either a classic is written in 3 years or 2 weeks. Those are the only two options. Yes. Do you want to read our IMDb synopsis, Lee? I'm ready for this.
Oh my god, would I love to. Especially because I'm super excited for us to have 4 gay synopses today.
It's going to be intense.
Like, the anticipation is getting to me. So, our IMDb synopsis, for anyone who is not familiar with the classic film Juno, faced with an unplanned pregnancy, an offbeat young woman makes an unusual decision regarding her unborn child.
An offbeat young woman?
There's a lot of, like, euphemistic language in there.
There's so much coded language in that IMDb synopsis. Who wrote it?
They're like, I want to make this a synopsis and a puzzle all at the same time.
It's like when somebody says Juno is a different kind of girl, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma, when I was growing up, used to say I was like a really independent woman, and I was like, I think we all know what you mean.
Yes. So,
yeah.
Who wants to kick it off with their gay synopsis? Let's start with everyone's averting their gaze. GAYC.
The pressure.
I will start since everyone so doesn't want to do it. So here's my gay synopsis. All right, here we go. If Juno just gave her baby to a couple of nice lesbos like she wanted to, then everything would have been okay.
That's great.
That's the movie I want.
It's so true.
That's the movie.
Okay, I'll put the pressure on then. Elise, what's your gay synopsis?
16-year-old baby gay Juno McGuff experiments with heterosexuality one fateful night and ends up with a great story to tell her future female partner.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
I love it. Okay, what about you, Lisa?
Mine was pretty similar to Elise's, which is basically, I went off the IMDb one and I said, a young gay woman makes an unusual decision to have sex with a man, resulting in an unplanned pregnancy. Although my backup was just Ellen Page. That was the synopsis.
Yeah.
So.
See, that's mine. I think my gay synopsis for Juno is Ellen Page has never played a straight character, the high school pregnancy edition.
True.
Yep. Yeah, that's perfect.
There's honestly...
Name a straight person she's played. Go ahead.
I can't.
The Ellen Page challenge. It doesn't exist.
The limit is...
I mean, I think they tried to make her straight in X-Men.
They try to make her straight all the time, but it never
We'll
is
do X-Men
believable.
next.
Yeah, they try.
Coming up soon, X-Men should have been gay.
I could totally be down for X-Men should have been gay.
Oh, well,
That is
I'm
not a joke.
100% adding it to the list.
Add it.
Elise and I did like a Battlestar Galactica episode on X-Men the other day.
That's amazing.
Which will probably be releasing this week as well, actually. So.
Oh yes, Lisa also has a Battlestar Galactica podcast. If we have any,
I do.
What do you call Battlestar Galactica fans?
I don't know.
They're like,
I never really thought about
Trekkie
Galacticons.
equivalent?
I've named them.
Yeah, Galacticons unite.
I think like the thing about Ellen Page, I have to say one thing, which is that I'm watching Umbrella Academy. I'm having a really nice time, and it's a show about all these people with these really weird, cool, unusual superpowers. And I'm like suspending my disbelief, and then they have Ellen Page dating a trash man, like a man, period, but like a trash man. And I'm like, I can't. You know, this is like breaking the fourth wall. I can't believe it anymore.
The least convincing thing in Umbrella Academy is Vanya being straight.
Yeah.
But has no one seen season 2?
I have seen season 2. You will, but don't ruin it for
I
Elise.
haven't seen it
I'm not
yet, but
ruining it.
I know what happens.
Yes, I'm so excited.
But look, it's something to look forward to. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
All right, so what was our experience with Juno? Let's start. We're just going to keep going, like rotating circle of 4. Elise, what was your experience with Juno?
I remember that I was in college. I was in like my sophomore or junior year of college, and we had decided, my roommates and I, that we're going to watch all the Oscar movies for that year. And so I remember one of them was Doubt, and then there was Juno, and that was like a confusing pair to watch because I was like super gay but didn't know I was gay yet and wasn't out yet. So yeah, I just watched it in the theater. I know I saw it in the theater, and I was working with teen moms at the time, doing some volunteer work with teen moms. And so I thought it was really cool to see them on screen, see Juno on screen. And I just remember it feeling like such a different kind of movie. There weren't these like indie movies with like indie music and quippy ironic dialogue from youths, and they had cool clothes. And it just felt like a very different kind of movie than one I had ever seen before.
Just super cool clothes like flannels and hoodies.
Yeah.
Just like
yeah.
just like your typical
Cool.
normal straight cool clothes.
When I say cool, I mean gay. I'm not talking about Bleeker's cross-country uniform. I'm talking about Ellen Page's like frumpy sweaters and flannel, and yeah.
Yeah. Sounds right. It did look cool to a baby gay. Yeah. Or I don't know if you were already out.
What about
then.
you, Ellie? What was
Who did you ask me?
I did ask you.
I'm like, when did this movie come out? Okay, so I must have seen this movie in high school. I remember seeing it, but like I don't remember if I saw it in the theaters or if I saw it somewhere else. But I just remember it being like a movie that defined the like millennial high school experience of just like you said, the quippy dialogue, the Ellen Page. And I feel like it just started so much gay love for Ellen Page. I was like, I love that actor and I don't know why. And that's it. That was it for me. Yeah. How about you, Elise?
Oh, I
We just did Elise.
How about you, Lisa?
This is the problem with all of us having
Yeah.
The
different
same
names.
name.
The same name.
That feels really gay of us. Like it feels like why? Like,
It's like dating a girl who has the exact same name as you, and you're like, who's who?
I saw this. I think Elise and I are about the same age, so I was also in university, and I saw it with my first love, and it was very cute. And at the cinema, in the really awkward dancing scene, the whole cinema cut out, and so that was probably the worst. We were like, what's going to happen? So I think we got free movie tickets out of it. But yeah, he like bought me the soundtrack. And again, like I was not out at this point either, but apparently was like full in a queer relationship with this man, according to Elliot.
I know, I said you can still be in a like relationship with a man that is queer. And that's what that relationship was.
Well, I mean, the song from the movie was then our song. So I feel like that's pretty gay.
Yes. I also feel like this movie like really started the like high school nerds are hot like thing. That is fine and cool. Better than high school assholes are hot, right?
Yeah. But I think you're right, Ellie. It feels so emblematic of like when like some nerdy guy just like started writing screenplays. And every single one of them was like, he's secretly been the best guy all along. And you're like,
yes.
Okay, I guess.
And what was brilliant about how they did it was that, you know, she's in the high school and the jocks walk by and start bullying her. And you're like, okay, this happens in literally every teen movie. And then she turns out, but they're like self-referential about the fact that they're busting through that cliche right away by her being like, yeah, but you know, he thinks I'm hot. And it's almost like they're making fun of that pattern. It's just brilliant.
Okay, but wait, because can we use that as our diving point into? Can we just jump right into like how gay this movie is? And specifically how gay Juno is?
Yes.
Right? Because I literally wrote down the entire quote of that scene because I was like, here's the thing. I love going back because like same thing. This came out when I was in college and it was like I saw it. I super loved the soundtrack for it. Like that was also a turning point I think in this movie was like, you know, when you started listening to movies like just for the soundtracks a lot, you know. But going back and rewatching them now with like, you know, Ellie and I always say like fresher, gayer eyes, you see movies a little differently. Going back and watching that scene when she's like, oh, that jock is like totally into me because jocks are always into like this type of girl. Okay, can we just discuss the type of girl that she describes? Because this is the quote. She says, girls with horn-rimmed glasses and vegan footwear, goth makeup, girls who, like, play the cello and read McSweeney's and want to be children's librarians when they grow up. And I'm like, ma'am, do you mean lesbians?
Also, like, do you mean, yeah, guys are always into that girl. Like, why do you have the very specific idea of, like, a hot, attractive woman?
And the girl that she's, like, picturing in her, like, they have this whole little montage scene where they're, like, building this little, you know, like,
lesbian
doll version of this girl that she's describing, and she's like in a flannel and has the like, you know, the hair and the glasses, and I'm just like, that's just gay. You're yeah, it's funny how like, woo, they always bully the girls that they're into but can't have because they're
gay.
Giant lesbians.
She literally in that little fantasy like takes a straight looking girl and like constructs a lesbian out of her visually, like by adding like these paper doll like flannel items and glasses.
we've all had that thought process ourselves.
There's so much gay, like Juno herself is so gay coded. I wrote down a few other lines too, but this one really like blew me away when she was telling all of her favorite bands. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So Mark is like, what are your favorite bands? Also, Mark sucks. We all know this. And she says, oh, the Stooges, Patti Smith, and the Runaways.
Yeah. Yep.
It's literally like the bands that Kat from 10 Things I Hate About You would go to that lesbian bar and watch. Like Juno and Kat would be together.
Oh my god, can we ship Juno? We've never done a should have been gay ship where we ship
We
across
just
movies,
cross
but
over
like
movies.
I would crossover ship Juno with Kat so hard. Ugh, I can see it.
Yeah, I have a really visual imagination, and I full pictured that. So thank you for that.
You're
Are you
welcome.
also like making them gayer in your head? So you're like just take them, but like maybe with some chucks on
But
and like,
could they be gayer? Is my
Could
question.
they be as well?
I've got a couple writing deadlines coming up, but then I can write this fan fiction. Like I'll deliver it. It's fine for you guys, you know.
Elise, do you write fanfic? I feel like do you have like a page where you write fanfic?
Oh wow, you're like putting her on the spot right now.
I have like a really detailed set of different scenarios in my head, but I've never written them all down, which is really just laziness, to be honest.
But you have a book about like Dana Scully, Xena the Warrior Princess. And
I have
Buffy.
a book about, I took one of my fan fictions in my head where I was like, it would be cool to go on a road trip with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Xena Warrior Princess, and Dana Scully from the X-Files to like find a feminist utopic city where only women can live. And this is a book that was already written in the 15th century. And so I decided to like rewrite it with those three as the heroes. So that's like the one fanfic I've written down. But
You're like, I haven't written fanfic, but I took 5 years to write this extensive.
But I published it. You're like, I'm not on AO3, but if you go to your local library.
There's just no like, it's not as brilliant as what you just described with Juno and Kat. So I feel like I'm living in the shadow of that now.
No, I'm sure it's beautiful. I can't wait to read it and live that road trip. I cannot wait.
So we're clearly saying we're digging into Juno is our should have been gay in this, yeah. So what are some other highlight moments? Like Lisa, what were like standout moments for you of how gay Juno is in this movie?
Although, like, okay, I do want to say something though, because they use gay as an insult a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, anyway, when does Juno strike me as... I'm going to pass this on to somebody
No,
else.
you're like, I just want to say that, and now let's talk about Juno some more.
No, let's talk about that, though, because that also is, like, such a... I watched it again. It's such a, like, 2000s thing, and you're just like... It's like that moment where people were like, lesbians exist, but we still don't know if we like them yet, you know? And it's so painful to see... Ellen Page, also, who you know is at that time probably like struggling with her own sexuality, saying all these lines that are like I said, she literally says when her and her friend are looking through the pages, like, I just want to give my my baby to a couple of nice lesbos. And it's like nice, but also you're like, did you like you just wrote that for a joke? When, like, actually, it would be actually really good for you, a little baby, to give your baby to a loving lesbian family.
And I think, like, she did the closest thing she could for 2007 by giving it to a single mom. Like, it feels like this feminist empowerment moment when, like, she decides to give the baby to Vanessa, you know, even without Mark in the picture. And then Vanessa then frames the note on the wall, and it becomes this, like, all women nuclear family, like spiritual family kind of in her like honoring Juno's choice that way.
It is, but at the same time it does it in that 2007 way of like they make Vanessa look like an insane like crazy bitch the whole movie. Yeah. You know, and like the whole movie spends the entire time like building up Mark for the intense purpose of being like, wow, what an asshole he is, and I get that. But they do it at the expense of Vanessa.
I know.
Like, the whole rest of the time.
I really
and it's, like, not
hope-
until the very end, you know?
I really hope Vanessa finds a nice wife to help her raise her baby. That's, like, my headcanon of that is, like, she
Love
finds
that.
a wife.
I think she does.
They have some more kids.
She leaves that, like, no good for nothing Ben Affleck, and she raised, Mark, and she raises
Affleck. Come on.
Ben Affleck.
Come on.
Wait, but isn't that who she's talking about?
Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, she's
just
talking about
left
real
Ben
life
Affleck.
people. You
Yeah.
don't know this?
Real life people. Okay.
You don't know your celebrity gossip?
No, sorry.
No,
I thought she was
it's not
calling
on
Jason Bateman Ben Affleck, and I was going to
No,
be like,
it's
what is
Jennifer's
happening
real
right
life.
now?
Honestly, they're all
get
the
it.
same.
I get
They're
it.
all just useless men. And
Look, I mean,
all
you're not going
comes
to get much
together.
argument here, but, you know.
I do think that, like, she starts, like, I think Juno starts feeling better about Vanessa before Mark reveals himself to be a dick with the mall scene, right? Because, like, The mall scene is just Jennifer Garner, like, freaking acting her heart out. Like, that scene is so cool. And I know it's not gay, like, erotic, but it's, like, homosocial, like, women bonding. It's very cool. They're touching each other a lot. Like, I don't know. It's just sweet.
I love the phrase homosocial. I've never heard that.
Yeah, like,
I want it on a shirt.
It's like when something's gay, but not, like, erotic gay, you know?
Like when you're gay with your friends.
Like every women's sports team, like every sports team period is very homosocial because it's like you're like sex segregated and just like touching each other's butts a lot. It's homosocial.
Homosocial. I'm about it.
I just love your synopsis of sports teams.
I'm also just really enjoying Ellie digesting this term, like homosocial.
It's going to be on a Les Hangout shirt in like 3 weeks.
Absolutely. I'm like designing it as we speak. It's fine.
I mean, maybe like at the beginning when Juno says that she wants someone who has like a cool Asian wife who plays bass guitar, like maybe this child does now have a cool Asian one with a bass guitar. Like full circle, like Juno gets what she wants.
I hope
someone make us this sequel. Make us this sequel, damn it.
Yeah, because we know Vanessa's into musicians, and I'm assuming she got all of Mark's guitars in the Alamo, like in the divorce, and so she's all set up for her future bass guitar playing wife.
We're just choosing to believe she got everything of Mark's in the divorce, right? Like just cleaned house, just cleaned him out. That's what I want to see.
I feel like that's fair. Yeah.
I want the 2020 sequel where we now have like the baby all like, you know, hitting like teenage years. Juno's grown up, Vanessa's grown up, and now married to the Asian bass player of her dreams.
I love it.
I want it.
I'm so in on that.
Look, if we can freaking like reboot every goddamn movie these days, why can't we get this? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, it's like the story is like the child going out and searching for like his biological parents. I see it.
Oh my god, and then he could find Mark and or sorry, no, it wouldn't even be Mark, would it?
You're talking about
we don't even need Mark.
Bleeker.
We don't need Mark in the movie.
Mark
he's gonna go find he's gonna go find Juno and Polly. Oh, I love it. Except she ditched Polly.
Yeah, and he's obviously with his men as well. Like everybody's gay
with his men.
And
all of them.
And the kid is
with all of his men. The whole track team. It's the whole track team.
He's going to go look for them, and he's going to find Juno and Leah. And I'm going to use that to say we're going to take a quick break and come right back to talk about who maybe Juno should have been gay with in this movie. Yeah? This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/leshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/leshangout.
Let's hang out.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
So, not to keep us too much in suspense, but clearly Juno should have been with Leah in this movie.
Oh my god,
right?
yes.
They are so gay together.
Can we talk a little bit about them together? Because I have a lot of really strong feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Look, this movie, again, with so many movies written in this time period, this movie does not set up Juno and Polly. At all.
I love how this
right?
is a podcast and we're all just shaking our heads.
Four podcast hosts, everybody just silently shaking their heads.
We're just enraptured. Like, we're speechless by this point that you're making.
Like, everyone can feel the shake.
Folks, we are professional podcasters.
You can feel the shake. But agreed. Yeah.
Okay, the movie does not set up Juno and Polly, and I'd like to can we highlight some of the moments that really set up, Juno and Leah as the clear couple choice in this film? So Elise, let's start with you. Do you have some good moments you want to call out for Juno and Leah?
I'll mention two. I mean, one is just like that she's there in the hospital watching the ultrasound, like any good dad would be there to do. And the other is that she's with Juno when Juno's about to let her parents know that she's pregnant. And it's like, that scene looks so much like she's about to come out, right? She's like, I've got to tell you guys something. I'm really nervous to tell you. I've got to tell you. And they're like, what, did you murder someone? And like, it doesn't occur to them either, like in their post-talk, pep talk with each other, or in the moment with Juno, to guess that. And I'm like, have you met your daughter? Like, have you ever met the human who lives in the house with you who's 6? Like, she's with her girlfriend here about to tell you that okay. And so I think they should have been like more shocked that was the news and not that It was
Yeah.
that she was coming out to them.
Well, and I mean, first of all, yes, she brings Leah to. Leah is her moral support. Leah is her go-to that she brings everywhere for everything, for every big moment in her life. She does not go to Polly. She goes to Leah. And not only does she bring Leah to do the whole, like, coming out to your parents conversation, also, in that conversation, when she does tell them that it's Polly Bleeker's kid, Leah's face when her dad repeats, like, Polly Bleeker, and Leah's like, I know, right? Like, she is so equally disappointed in the whole turnout of the situation.
She's like, I really thought it'd be me before Polly, but, you know, what are you gonna do?
I know! I kind of love it, though.
And I think that you can look to Polly Bleeker as actually further evidence of her gayness. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but, like, she picks this, like, incredibly sweet, harmless boy to experiment with, you know, who's, like, and like, she's the one who comes on to him, and she's the one who, like, kind of initiates the whole situation, is in control the whole time, and so that seems, you know, like a nascent gay to me too.
Well, comes on to him and then seemingly has absolutely no interest in him for the entire rest of the movie until the very end, when it's like compulsory heterosexuality.
It's like she remembers she's in a movie, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm in a movie and it's 2007. I better wrap this up and be straight real quick.
I will say, like, every single one of my quote unquote boyfriends in high school were Polly Bleeker.
It's basically just a gay woman, right?
Yes.
Like, you're in the bed together.
Like, you want someone super, like, not intimidating, someone who's not going to pressure you into doing stuff that you don't want to do because you don't want to do it. And that's what Juno does. And then she's like, well, let me just try this because I should do it. I'm 16 and I'm a straight girl, quote unquote. Let me do it once. And, like, it was fine.
Was Polly Bleeker her first time, or was I couldn't tell what the film was saying about that. Okay.
It's hard to tell, right? Because she does say that at one point where she's like, it was his first time, that's why he made that face, but it doesn't sound like she's saying it as though it was her first time. Look, some you know, like, late night sleepovers with Leah, I don't know what happened. I'm just saying someone could write us that fan fiction too. Whatever you want, you know?
I'm pretty sure it, like, because she says to him, well, I have your virginity, and he, like, doesn't, like, retort. I don't know. I just feel like the movie indicates she's been having sex already. She's already sexually active, if we're going to use the
Okay, look, one of the first lines of dialogue in the movie, I mean, you have the whole opening sequence where she's, like, taking the pregnancy tests and everything, right? But then she calls Leah on the phone, right? And, like, our introduction to Leah is this conversation that includes, like, her asking, what did she say? She makes some joke about, like, Morgan Freeman or something, and she's like, yeah, you have any bones that need collecting? And Leah's response is, only the one in my pants. And I'm like, what is your friendship exactly? Like, what is the relationship here that's going on? Which I also thought was funny because it's, like, a direct contrast, like, their fun, friendly conversation is a direct contrast to then, like, the scene where she sits outside Bleeker's house in the chair to tell him that she's pregnant, and the track team runs by, and she's, like, talking about how every time she sees the dudes running with their shorts on, and, like, all she can picture is their, quote, pork swords in their shorts,
yes,
and, like,
course,
she could not possibly sound less into that whole situation.
I mean, pork swords is not an appealing phrase.
It is not.
Even if you were straight.
It's almost like there's this writing that's really smart and quippy, but then the way Ellen Page delivers these lines in the movie, you almost feel like she is self-awarely poking fun at the compulsory heterosexuality of the film. Like, she's, like, delivering the lines ironically, and if you're watching the movie and you want to see it as her just being an ironic, kind of sarcastic teenager, you can see it that way. But if you're us, you're like, oh yeah, she's like, this is like a meta movie with, like, Ellen Page like critiquing the movie through her act. Am I reading too much? Are we allowed to do this?
I love it. I love
like,
the
52 episodes
meta
in on this should have been gay. Are you reading too much into it?
But I'm a literary scholar, so, like, all day long I'm like, let's analyze, like, every
No, but I also think it's perfect because even if you look at the end of the movie, so, like, first of all, sure, you have this whole movie where it's like she does not seem to be, like, she doesn't talk about Polly or to Polly barely at all the entire movie. He's barely even there. He's, like, an afterthought. She doesn't bring him to any of the important life events. She doesn't talk to him about anything that's going on. And then at the end, they're like, he was the guy for me the whole time. And then they don't even show them, like, it's not like you end in that typical, like, kind of rom-com-y way of, like, it's them kissing or it's them doing something. It's like they literally put them, like, 6 feet apart on opposite ends of a stoop playing guitars together, and you're just like,
they're ahead of their time.
Romance, even? Like, are you even into each other or together at all? Or are you just, like, good friends? What's happening here? Like,
and this is like a few beats after you saw Leah with her delivering the baby in the delivery room, holding a leg. Like, you can't get much more intimate than that.
Yeah.
She's up in
It should be her spooning Juno at the end of the movie. God damn it.
Be her spooning. Oh my God. 100%.
Yes.
Yes. That's the ending that should have happened. Like, let's be real. She brings her everywhere. She brings her everywhere.
There also is this line at the mall that I wrote down with them, because this is how they always are. They talk about gayness a lot in this movie.
Yes.
So
the one about Vanessa?
Yeah, Vanessa. Vanessa comes out of the elevator and she's like, oh, I'm just shopping with my girlfriends. And Leah's like, you're gay? Like, only gay girls assume when you say girlfriends, it means they're
That's
gay.
true.
Yes.
That's true.
But also, even before that, when they're wrestling and then they see Vanessa down below, right? And what is the first thing Leah says about her?
She's pretty.
She's like really pretty.
I mean, she is.
She's jealous. Is she jealous?
She's a little jealous. Okay, and it's not the only time she's jealous, because here's the other one that I want to call out is when Juno is talking about telling her parents, keeping the baby and telling her parents, and she's like, your parents are going to freak out, right? Leah's telling her, like, they're not going to let you do this, and they're not going to let you go do that, and you're not going to get to go to Cabo for spring break, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Juno replies, and she goes, oh, I was going to go to Gettysburg with Bleecker anyways. And Leah's face when she says that, just like, boom. That is, let me tell you what that face is. That is the face of someone who's like, I was gonna kiss you and tell you I'm ready to date in Cabo, and now you just broke my heart for a boy. That is the face that happens in that instant. Like, 100%.
My entire high school experience was making that face. So I know it well. Like, I know the face. You're 100% right. You're 100% correct.
Poor Leah.
That's what it is. That's that face, right? And then, because the other one that killed me is at the end of the movie when Juno shows up at the track to, like, tell Polly how she feels, right? After the zero buildup that has happened the entire movie to that moment. She shows up at the track, right? And they cut from them kissing to the dude that they mentioned once at the beginning of the movie as being like, oh, he's totally into Juno. And you're like, why does that dude even exist? Except for this, which is they cut to him to be like, look at how jealous he is. And then they immediately cut to Leo watching them as well. And I'm like, oh, did you just need to, like, make it a little more obvious for the straight people who, like, couldn't see what is going on already? Like, you just needed to be like, jealousy, here's Leah for no particular reason.
Yep. It's bad.
She gets jealous. That's all I'm saying.
Do we want to talk a little bit about Mark before we I like hate him so much, but
so much.
Wait, sorry. I have one dark horse call out before we talk about Mark, which is I'd also like to nominate Soo Chin as a possible gay in this movie, because, like,
ooh.
I know.
Interesting choice.
Underdog, but I could totally see it as, like, she's, you know, a religious household and she's not quite, like, free to be herself yet.
Yeah.
But she, like, seemed, I don't know, I could see her growing and, you know, leaving some things behind when you get to college. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
She's already got practice,
she
like,
could
holding
become
a...
someone's hot bass playing girlfriend. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Age difference? It's fine. It's fine.
She could become, like, Juno's bass playing girlfriend. They could have a throuple.
Okay.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that with Leah. Sure.
Oh, wait, also, sorry, I forgot, Ellie. I'm going to let you get to how Mark is an asshole eventually, I promise. But I have a lesbian rabbit hole.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay,
Besides Ellen Page?
Yes.
Okay.
So I
Allison
also want to
Janney.
call out lesbian rabbit hole. Very, very gay Leah in this movie is played by an actress named Olivia Thirlby, who also shows up as Rebecca in The L Word Generation Q.
I was going to bring that up, and I'm glad you did.
Hell
she
yeah.
plays like a gay pastor, right?
Yeah, she plays a gay pastor. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, raising my hands to a microphone that cannot hear me make this gesture. You're welcome, listeners. We're so good at this.
And it's good. And Rebecca in the L Word like deserves so much better than who she. So like you know, it gives me hope that maybe somewhere out there in that rabbit hole parallel universe, she's just like gonna find Juno again.
Aww.
Yes, you know,
it's way better than what she gets in the show.
It's bad.
Bike stealing pile of garbage.
Yep.
Not good. Not good. But yes.
Okay, now you can tell us how Mark's an asshole.
Okay,
Lily.
Mark is an asshole. That's all. No.
Really nailed the landing there. I love it.
Mark's an asshole. So I feel like, okay, so I was debating this, and I feel like I'm just gonna like live in it and see how it feels, and maybe I also want to get rid of it because it's still problematic. But I sort of wanted Mark to be also replaced by a woman. Like, so already Vanessa is in a lesbian couple. It's her and her wife who end up wanting to take the baby from Juno. And I don't know, I feel like I just want to cut the whole thing with Mark being creepy, but also like give it like maybe it could be an older lesbian musician who's like still feeling like she's been living her glory days and she's not ready for a baby. Like it could still be that, and you could still have, we talked about this in one of our previous episodes, you can still have lesbians who suck, but let's just make them all lesbians. And
I like this.
Yeah.
And then it's also like Juno's awakening of her sexuality and not just a creepy older person being inappropriate.
Yes, exactly. Where it's like she still is like not okay with these advances because it's an older woman and the power dynamics are off. But she's like, wait, because she definitely like they make it seem like, oh, Juno has a crush on this older man. It's like not really. Like, so she could have this like weird little kind of crush, but she's like, I don't want this to be a thing. But
I like that. I like that. That rewrite makes it more nuanced and interesting because I feel like you could then get rid of the pedophilia. You could just have like Juno has a crush because she has this Ring of Keys moment with this older lesbian who plays guitar like her, and she's got a little crush on her. And then the older lesbian is more like just kind of like, I don't want to have a kid right now. And you get all that like I think what I took away from the Mark and Juno thing was that feeling when you're gay and you like want to be friends with guys and you're like the cool girl who plays guitar and has good taste in music, and you obviously there's like pedophilia going on.
Is this you, Elise?
This is me where you're like you're just friends with a guy and then he's like, I thought you wanted to date me, and you're like, no, I like literally just want to be your friend. And he's like, but you're so cool and you like music, and I'm like, yeah, I'm an interesting, like, I don't want to date you, like, but can't we just be friends? And they're
like
kind of like
half of it. It's like that kind of moment.
Yes,
totally.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I do feel like there were older men in my life when I was a kid who were like this. And you think that you're so cool because an older person's paying attention to you, and then you get older and you're like, that's so inappropriate.
Right, yeah. You're like, oh, that was problematic.
Like, why did a 28-year-old want to speak to a 16-year-old for more than like 5 minutes? You know, like.
Yeah. And he's like,
teenagers are the worst.
Yeah. It is a weird thing to watch as
so uncomfortable.
As an adult who like used to watch it, not really as an adult, being like, oh, this is so cool. And then I'm like, wait, there's a lot of really cringy things. And that's the point, like, of a lot of the stuff that is cringy. But
well, every teenager is vulnerable because they want to feel cool and feel like they're fitting in somewhere. And because she's gay, is especially vulnerable because she doesn't have other like lesbians to hang out with at school who like her music. And by the way, lesbians always play guitar. Like, we need to get that out of the way too. And, like, she plays guitar. She plays guitar and she just does. And so like she doesn't have her community yet. She doesn't have her like network and her queer chosen family yet. So she feels like she, you know, and she's kind of wise beyond her years. So yeah, she's just especially vulnerable to this creep.
Yep. She doesn't have her gays except for Leah.
Leah, my heart.
Bringing it all back.
And they have no other friends. It's just the two, like they're a couple.
It's just the two of them.
They're across like I don't know if schools really like this in America, but like the cheerleader and quirky girl like divide, which just feels like an unusual friendship, you know, unless there's more to it.
Yes. Unusual friendship, perfect relationship.
Perfect relationship. And the other thing that we didn't talk about with Leah that I feel like we should call out while we're having this whole thing about like problematic relationships with older men is that I also feel like Leah's pulling like a super gay move of like, I know, I'm just going to have crushes on teachers who are like completely unavailable to me to actually date. Right? So it's like this way of kind of like positioning yourself as like, oh, I'm very straight and like totally into men. I just like, no, I can't date any of them because the men I'm into are all like older, you know, they're off limits men. Which I feel like a good like safe move, you know, to like, it like brands yourself as being like, oh, this is why I'm never actually with anyone.
Yeah, because every 16-year-old girl is into like 40, 50-year-old bears. That's the type.
Absolutely.
Yes. That makes sense.
I think this helps me. This helps me also like put my like everything you said about jealousy and Lee helps me understand Juno's gayness better. And I'm going to relate Sappho here because Sappho teaches us.
Please.
Sappho teaches us how jealousy works in a like lady loving situation and how it like affects your body, and it's the sense of longing and loss and desire that can't be fulfilled. And that's the look on Leah's face, right? When Juno confronts Polly Bleecker in the hallway about taking a different girl to prom, it's not yearning, like it's not a jealousy rooted in yearning and desire. She's just pissed off at him because she feels like a house and he knocked her up. And the decent thing for him to do would be to take her to prom. And she's like mad about the injustice of that. And she's like irritated. She's not jealous wanting him to take her to prom.
Yeah.
She's jealous like, you should take me to prom, you bastard.
Yeah, she is not jealous of the girl that she literally told him to go ask out. Like,
right.
Yeah, a little self-sabotaging there, but you know.
Gay self-sabotaging. She's like, I don't want to date you. Date that other girl, please. Thanks.
Right, yeah. Like, that's exactly how you handle the conversation with the guy you're super into, is to tell him to you know, go ask out this other girl who smells like soup. That's how most of us handle that.
Because she's so confident and self-assured and knows what she wants. And when he tells her that he likes her, she like has a look of panic on her face and suggests the soup girl. You know, if she liked him even a little bit, she would assert like that. It's out of her character to, and so that's why you really feel like this heterosexuality at the end is just shoehorned in.
Can we just take a quick moment to imagine, like, what if Leah had just asked her to prom?
Oh.
What a perfect ending.
I wish I had screenshotted everyone's faces just there.
Don't worry, I'm recording this video. You could take it after the fact.
But it would have been the cutest, right? Like, it would have been the cutest.
So cute.
And Juno would like get up on stage and like balance a ukulele on her big pregnant belly and like play Leah their song, and that would be the end of the movie.
Fixed it.
I love it.
The end of the movie would be them spooning in the hospital bed.
So much
good
better.
Good point. Yeah,
I'm into it. So, who are we shipping?
Such a tough call.
Everybody.
We ship Vanessa with her hot bass player, and Leah and Juno.
Of course. Okay.
And
so
go ahead, Ellie. What's their ship name? Come on.
Wait, Elise, do you have another ship?
I think I ship myself with like the hamburger phone. I want that phone. It's amazing.
So it's what? Alburger is your ship name?
I love it.
Yep. And so wait, Juno and Leah?
Yeah.
Junia. Julia.
I could go with like
Lino?
Luno, and it's like Luna, but like their gay ship name is Luno.
Any other ship names for Juno and Leah?
Do they even have last names?
McGuff.
McGuff.
Juno's last name.
Juno's a McGuff. Leah doesn't get a last name.
That's so. The lesbian characters never get a last name, huh?
I know, right?
What if you do like Luna, and then you bring in that like lesbian moon energy, like, you know, I don't know. Is that too much?
No, I'm into it.
I like Luna. No, I'm here for it.
Into it. I love it. And wait, who else are we shipping? We're shipping
Vanessa and
the
her
bass.
future wife.
So, but we don't know that person's name, huh?
No. We could just ship Vanessa and Suchin.
It's a little problematic in the movie, but we'll just place it in the future. It's fine. Sunessa. That's what I'm going with.
Vanessa.
Sunessa.
Yeah. I don't know how
but like
strong
she's
you
in
feel about
15
that
years.
one.
In 15 years.
A long time in the future.
And then they have like an interesting story to tell once they get together. Like, you know, I was really leaning into my like rejecting myself to the point where I kind of did this radical right thing, and then I realized that I was in love with you.
Well, and plus, like, how beautiful would it be if, like, Su Chin was part of the impetus for Juno not to go through with having the abortion that saved the baby that Vanessa ends up adopting, and then they fall in love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Full circle.
The possibilities are endless.
Full circle.
Yeah.
You guys, there's a quote that I need to bring up with us here.
Yes.
I think it's like the climax of the gay plot of the movie. And it actually comes from Mac McGuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but I'm so excited for a gay climax.
I'm just going to read the quote, okay? Because Juno, like, runs home after Mark's a dick and is like, Dad, tell me marriage can, like, work and, like, relationships can work. And he tells her, in my opinion, and listen to the gender-neutral language he uses. In my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly what you are. Good mood, bad mood, ugly, pretty, handsome, what have you, the right person will still think the sun shines out your ass. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking with.
I definitely had that written in like some like notebook as like a quote I loved.
Okay, but wait, what if the dad was talking about Leah the whole time?
Oh my god.
Of course he was. That's why he used the gender neutral person and said handsome and pretty so that he could like be all encompassing for his daughter who he knows is a lesbian.
Feminist icon. Mr.
Mac
McGuff.
McGuff. Except he feel like he said some
He slut shames her.
He slut shames her for sure.
He does a little, but I have to say, I mean, compared to many dads in this era of movies that we have seen, like, I actually kind of love, I like his character, you know? It's like, he has the one little moment, but for the most part, he's pretty supportive, you know, overall.
I mean, maybe he's disappointed in her for, like, you know, acting out of her, like, gay character. Maybe he's like, I thought you like knew that you were gay, and so I'm disappointed that you
have you seen
aren't embracing
the movie Blockers?
No.
Oh my god, it's like this ridiculous comedy, but basically all the parents are trying to stop their kids from having sex on prom night. And one of the dads goes to stop his daughter because he knows she's gay and he doesn't want her to have sex. Like, it's like actually really nice, and he's like, I don't want you to regret this, and then like she ends up being gay and falling in love with the girl. It's so cute. So
love it.
That's
adorable.
I like that. I like the interpretation. Yeah, I'm into it. So I mean, I feel like we're pretty decided that Juno should have been gay.
Should have been gay.
Yeah, should have been gay.
Should have been gay.
Does that mean it's time, Ellie?
It's time for our Q and gay. Let's do this.
Q and gay.
I think Lisa and Elise, you can both answer just one at a time. All right. So our first question: what were you in high school? A, track jock. B, valedictorian. C, indie music kid. Or D, theater kid. Who wants to answer first?
I was definitely a D.
I knew you would be a D. I also was a D.
Of course you were.
Elise, what were you?
I kind of tried out all four at different stages and like
nice.
experimented. So I was like a band nerd / jock / book, like on the academic bowl, but book nerd team. So I'll say B because I think I was pretty book nerdy, but I definitely was not the valedictorian. I was pretty far. You know what I was voted was class clown, but it's because my high school buddies and I figured out how to fix the senior superlative elections.
Nice.
We figured out that if we could like get our group of like 30 friends to like vote as a block on like a ballot, like a straight ballot ticket, like a sample ballot, then we could have a large enough percentage of the vote. So we just so that's what we did.
Wow. Impressive.
You gamed the system. Sounds like a valedictorian move to me.
There you go. Cool. I'll take it.
Question 2. Who was the bigger asshole? A, Mark, or B, that ultrasound tech?
Oh, tough question. I think I have to go with Mark. I feel like the ultrasound tech she got what was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, we have not talked about Allison Janney. How?
We didn't at all. I know.
All right, let's do it now. Allison Janney.
There's just too much to talk about.
She's a god.
Too much. She's just
incredible.
Any role she plays is incredible. Has anyone seen her in what was that movie where she was so freaking good? In the
Everyone
with Margot Robbie.
Oh, I, Tonya.
Yeah.
So good.
She's incredible.
Well, actually, so I think it was the Bechdel cast episode. They did one on Juno, and they were saying that in this movie, in Juno, she like sends her daughter. She's taking her to ice skating practice, and so they decided that it was like the greater universe.
Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Stop it.
Well, and Allison Janney is one of those that, like, every time I see her in a movie, I find myself on, you know, the personal life part of her Wikipedia page just to confirm, like, wait, she's not gay? Are we sure? She's quite tall. Like, are we sure she's not gay? And
once you hit a certain like height, you have to be gay. Is that how it works?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I will inform my
I have inches to go to my
sister.
to my gay height. Look, every gay tall needs a gay small, and that's what I am.
Yeah,
True.
Wait, I need to know more about Lisa's like theater days. Like, what did you star in? Like, what did you do?
I was less in theater, and we did more like cabarets of theater songs because my school wasn't very big, so we didn't really have enough people to do like proper musicals. But we did like cabarets and whatnot. I was late to the game though. I didn't start singing till I was like 14.
And now, like all former theater kids, you just live on TikTok.
Just do it on TikTok.
Yeah,
all day.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My Gen Z's like sisters, they just troll me now on the singing videos.
Oh my God.
They're like, this isn't what it's for.
Whatever. I love it.
Y'all's
I have
TikTok
like 20
content
duets
is...
with Lisa on my page.
I have so many.
Every time y'all do a TikTok, I send it to everyone I know, and I know like three people on TikTok who aren't y'all, and I'm like, I know these people. I think they're like, I think I know them.
I think we're friends. I'm not sure.
I'm like, I'm not sure I'm cool enough to be considered their friend, but like, I'm aspiring. I'm aspirationally their friend, and that's how impressive your TikTok content is to me.
I love it.
It's Ellie's gay bell really turned everything around.
Turned the tides. Yes. All right, we gotta keep going with the Q&A.
Sorry.
All right, question 3. Where did you always head first at the mall? A, the pretzel place. B, music store. C, Hot Topic. Or D, arcade.
Pretzel place.
At least it's like easy.
Yeah.
I love Auntie Annie's. That's our pretzel place. I don't know if that's a chain or not.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the cinnamon dusted, you know, and it was always right next to a Cinnabon, no matter what. They were like the shared space.
I love Cinnabon.
They're like hot dough here, just of all shapes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, I want to say pretzel place, but we don't really have pretzel places in Australia. I mean, like we do, but like not at the mall. It's not like a common thing at the mall. I don't know. Like probably like an ice cream store. Like I probably would have gone and got like a chocolate thing, but I definitely would have gone food first always.
Okay,
cool.
That's fair. That's
food
fair.
first always.
It's just my life motto.
I know. Do you like how none of the options were like actually like shopping real things?
Well, some people shop.
I was gonna
at
put like Sears on, and then I was like, who would even bother? So, anyways, question 4: what is your favorite Juno song? A, Anyone Else But You. B, All I Want Is You. C, All the Young Dudes. Or D, Tree Hugger.
I have to say A, because it was like. Because of the memories. The first love memories. Yeah.
Yeah, same. It's just such a great, I mean, it's so iconic to that movie, and it's so sweet. And it's actually, you know, the two of them playing and singing. And so now when you go to Ellen Page's Instagram and you watch her singing and playing guitar as her beautiful wife dances professionally in the background, you can like make that link and have that feeling of like, oh yeah, like she sings and plays the guitar, and like, here's the setting I always wanted it to be since that movie.
I love it.
I feel like that could be an upcoming TikTok, you know?
Send those videos. What? Ellen Page playing and...
No, just that song.
Just that song.
It's like a great duet.
Let's do it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Yes. All right, question number 5. Have you ever been to a dance before? A, every week. B, I went to prom. Or C, dances are for nerds and squares.
I'm so outing myself as a nerd here. I mean, we all know I have a Battlestar Galactica podcast. The jig is up. I used to go to an under 14s disco in a church hall called Sam's Disco every week. And it was 2 hours of dancing, like fun dancing, and then like 1 hour of slow dancing. And it was just woo. And
at the church
ridiculous.
Hall, did they do the
one whole hour of
Make-
slow
yeah.
dancing?
Make room for Jesus? Did they do that?
Yeah. No, it was not really religious, and I don't really know why they did it, but I'm grateful for it. Because we also had blue light discos, which are run by the police, and I wasn't allowed to go to those. I don't know why. My parents had it in their head that like bad things would happen, but I could go to this one. And like my parents aren't religious, so it wasn't that it was in a church. I don't know how I started going, but I went every single Friday night. I used to wear like the craziest hairstyles, and like for 2 hours, everybody would be scrambling to see who would dance with who. And I used to like a really short guy, because I'm 5'8", and I was 5'8" when I was like 12. And I used to like this guy who was really short. I still know his phone number. And I had my first dance with him was to, what's the song called? How You Making Love With Me? Tell me what it's gonna be. Do you remember this song?
Oh, of
I don't remember this song.
Keep going. You gotta sing more of it.
Like,
you gotta sing more of it.
Yeah. Can you get to the chorus? I don't.
I think that is the chorus, is it?
I don't know the song.
Do you see yourself fucking with a fucker like me?
I'm into it. But...
At least you've got to know
I'm
it.
so into
I
it.
know it. I'm not.
You can't think of what it's called.
And then there's the chorus is only
Anyway,
about
that was
pretty, right? Like something about being pretty.
Oh yeah,
I have no idea.
I know the song. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know it.
It starts off with that big like, yeah. It used to be the first song they played because it was like kind of easing into the slow music. Anyway,
what was the slow dance
the
song?
90s.
I remember they would always play. Don't want to close my eyes.
Yes.
Like that was always like the last song, and you would just be like,
Aerosmith. Love it.
Yes. That was our slow dance, like the final song of the night.
Oh,
every time.
That was a better time. Anyway, so yes, I was a big nerd.
It's okay.
Elise, you need to answer the question. My answer was just so long.
So I just like I love dancing, and I like dancing. It's my favorite thing. So, but in high school, I just remember being really confused most of the time because I would end up at the dance with my like the homecoming or prom dance with my male date, and I would sort of spend the whole dance pining after whatever girl I had a crush on who was like there really pretty in her beautiful gown and off like dancing with some chump. And, you know, I'd be like, why am I having such a bad time at this dance? But I love dancing. And like literally had no idea. Yeah, literally had no idea like why. And so I still have some like really like distinct memories of like my high school crush, like, you know, dancing to Freak Nasty's The Dip, you know, like that is burned into my brain, like what, like Sappho style, right? Like watching a guy hang out with the girl I liked and being like destroyed by it at dances is one of my like associations with high school dances.
Wait, were you out in high school?
I wasn't out. No. So I was really like good with guys because I didn't care. So I could just like ask any guy out. I could just be like, I'm not nervous. Do you want to go to this dance with me? And like, cause that's like my entry ticket is like, you have to have a guy to go to the dance with you. So like, I guess I've got to. So I asked all of my boyfriends out, and I was very much the Juno and pursuing, but I was never that interested in my high school boyfriends because they weren't women.
I was the Juno so hard too, Elise.
I took a woman to my prom. Well, like, we have a formal, but it wasn't like in any way. It was like a friend who was the grade above me, and she'd left high school already, and so I wanted her to come. And so I was
wait,
like,
is that gonna make me the lone one? I took my girlfriend to both junior and senior prom in high school.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you. Yep. I'm so jealous of you.
I went to junior and senior prom both with two different girls, but I was straight. Quote unquote.
The best prom I went to was I went with my best friend in high school, and he was, you know, a gay guy, and so we went and we just had such a nice time. It was like there was no like weirdness or anything. But when I look at my students now, I'm like, you have no idea how good you have it. You just like took someone of the same sex to your dance. Like when I was your age, like that, like I wish I could do high school over just to do what you did, Liam, like take a girl to a dance.
But we're like the same age.
I don't know. I grew up in like rural Georgia.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a little different.
It's just like was pretty creepy, and but yeah, like buying her did you buy her a corsage and everything, Lee? And like,
we must have had something, right? I don't remember. I remember like getting dressed. I remember like the dresses and stuff. I'm trying to remember if we had corsages.
I definitely got my dates corsages, even though we were straight. So I was treating my dates well.
The thing about it is, the funniest thing is like for my junior prom, it was literally like my coming out story was like I had invited a guy already to prom. There was like this guy that I met on a college tour, who like didn't even live in my state, but he was like super into me, and I was like, sure, why not? And he like drove down for us to like go on a couple dates and stuff, and then I was like supposed to be bringing him to prom. And I had this like 2-part operation, because first I had to tell him like, sorry, you are not coming to prom with me, and then I also had to tell my parents like, sorry, I am not bringing this dude to prom.
Wow.
I am bringing this girl that I am very much dating now. So yeah.
Okay. Jealous.
That's
it was
cool.
a whole.
High
it was
school
a whole
was
adventure.
very tumultuous as a closeted gay.
Yep.
Like
yep.
just
Wait,
like yeah.
Ellie, say more about that. Like what?
I'm
what do
just
you mean?
saying, I have the same shit as you, Elise, where it was like I would have so many nights where I would be like to go to a high school party, and I would like be drinking a little bit, and I'd just start crying, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying, and I'm like crying because my best friend's making out with a guy.
Yes,
and I'm like,
God,
I don't
it
know why I'm
sucks.
so upset. Like I just like he sucks. Like I don't know why she's over there with him. Like and I'm like, literally, what is wrong with you?
I mean, yeah, and like so not to like bring things back to Sappho too much, but like that's how
Always.
her most famous poem starts out, he seems to me equal to the gods, that man who sits across from you, listening to your sweet laughing. And in the poem, like her body is falling apart. Like watching her beloved talk to this man is having a catastrophic physiological impact on her being. And she is like, I'm sweating and my heart is pounding and I'm going to die and I can't speak and I can't breathe and I can't even, like, my eyes don't work anymore. Fuck this. Like, that is the
hashtag relatable content.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been the same way for 2,000 years, you guys.
It doesn't
we never
get
learn.
better. Yeah. God damn it.
And on that note, gosh, thanks so much for joining us, Lisa and Lisa.
So wait, what's our ship name again? Can we?
Oh,
Ellie
our
Alicia.
ship name.
Ellie Alicia.
Ellie Alicia Lee, I think is.
Ellie Alicia Lee. I love
Ellie
it.
Alicia Lee.
Tell us where we can find Sweet Bitter. It's coming out this week. Right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
I know because I'm also on it. But tell us about it.
We can be found as at SweetBitter Pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can email us at sappho@sweetbitterpodcast.com. Our website is sweetbitterpodcast.com. I think it's enough. Is this enough information for you?
And if you want to join our launch team as well, there's still time.
Oh yes, there is.
So you can join our launch team on the website, correct?
Yes, it's on the support page. And you can also subscribe because we're already in all the podcasting stores. You can find our trailer there.
Yes,
amazing.
coming out this
and where
Thursday.
where can everyone follow the two of you individually?
I'm at Lisa Charlotte everywhere. Lisa with 2 E's. That's pretty consistent. Elise is so hard to find online.
I keep things a little tighter just because like professordom, but you can find me at my website, elisenor.com.
Great. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and doing This Should Have Been Gay. This has been months in the making, and it made me so happy.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Let me hear you say, hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, so we just like to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. And this episode, we want to shout out someone who wrote us the most touching email. Oh my god.
It was so beautiful.
It was beautiful. So we just wanted to say thank you, Jenna, for writing us and telling us so much about your life and where the podcast has fit into it. And it just, I'm like a little emotional today.
I was very emotional when I read that email. It really, like, I try to convey to people so often, like, it really matters when you email us. Like, it really, really impacts our day in a positive way.
Read it, and then I immediately made my wife sit down and read the whole thing as well, because I was like, I need you to read this so that someone can understand why I'm just going to be making this face for the next hour.
Yes, if you want to see Lee's face, it's full of emotion.
It was very
Tears
emotional.
are coming. It was,
so, it was just really lovely. So thank you so much, Jenna. It meant so much to us, and we're so glad that you enjoy the podcast.
And as always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Jess Klaus,
Tanya Ferguson,
Danny Griswold,
Jacqueline Rosenshino,
Sarah and Julia,
Carrie Ann Lawrence,
Danny Gunlock Tamora,
Brittany Ray,
Alana Rosen,
and Tara Gleason.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
Leah Hendley,
Liz Chen,
and Wendy K. Bartlett. Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can send us an email at letshangoutpod@gmail.com. You may have noticed we love receiving them.
Or you can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll be the first to know when new episodes go up.
We're also posting videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch them.
If you want to support the podcast, there are so many ways that you can do that. The first one is so easy. Go on the Apple Podcasts app, leave us a rating and a review. A, we love reading the reviews, and B, it helps new people find the podcast.
And if you want to support us financially, you can do that at bit.ly/lespatreon. Come hang out with us in our Discord. We just had a Jackbox game night a few days ago, which was the best. I won one of the games, so that was great for me.
You won with Yoko e Corno in my heart always.
And yeah, if you want to know what the hell Yoko e Corno means, join us at bit.ly/lespatreon.
If you want to get some merch, Yoko e Corno shirts pending, you can find all of our designs. You can get them on tees and tanks and mugs and all sorts of good stuff. You can find that at bit.ly/lesshop.
Also, if you want to support us in our most recent endeavor, you can help us by donating to our Pink Starter at bit.ly/theflamethemusical to help us make our musical podcast a reality.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Buffet brawlers, glory holes gone wrong, cannibalistic castration cabins, public poopers? These are just a few of the crazy topics you'll hear covered on Excuse Me, That's Illegal, the pettiest podcast around. Whether you need a break from all that murdery true crime stuff, or just enjoy hearing hilarious stories told in a unique way, I got what you need. I'm Leroy Luna, your fearless host/chauffeur. So come hop in my minivan and let's go for a ride. I promise you probably won't be disappointed. Excuse Me, That's Illegal is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically everywhere you consume podcasts, with new episodes dropping on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of the month, baby!